The Dodgers are meeting with Juan Soto. Should they sign Juan Soto, Teo, Soto, or both? And we're breaking down Yoshinobu Yamamoto's rookie year and all things Dodger baseball, news, rumors, and more. That's coming up next on Dodgers Dugout Live.
It's time for Dodger baseball. Welcome to Dodger Stadium.
This is the golden age of Dodger baseball. The Dodgers are building a dynasty.
You guys wanted a parade? We got a parade! The Dodgers punch back. What happened to championship? Shohei Ohtani starts the 50-50 clock. Mookie Magic. Freeman hits the ball to right field. She is gone! Start the party, Los Angeles. Your Dodgers have won the World Series.
Think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
What is up, Dodgers Nation, and welcome to another episode of Dodgers Dugout Live. Everything you need to know about your boys in blue in less than an hour. My name is Doug McKain, credentialed member of Dodgers Media. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMac_LA. Now, if you haven't yet, do us a huge favor. Subscribe to the Dodgers Nation YouTube channel, the #1 Dodgers YouTube channel in the game. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. And if you really want to support the channel, smash that like button. Also, if you haven't yet, subscribe to the podcast, wherever you get your podcast, Apple, Spotify, Amazon Music, wherever it is, subscribe to the podcast and write us a review and we will read it on the show. Think of it as a super chat. We'll read it on the show. Subscribe to the podcast. We're going to start doing some podcast exclusives, some fun stuff over there as well. Of course, every episode begins with the Dodgers Nation poll question of the show. I asked you guys over on the X, would Juan Soto be a good fit for the Dodgers? And right now, 38% say yes, while 62% say no. So most people say no right now, that Juan Soto would not be a good fit. Of course, always looking for those super chats, always looking for those comments of the show. Later, for the 7th inning stretch, we have it for every single episode. So if any question that's not related to the topics that we're getting into, ask it down below, and Tony Taters is looking for your comments for the 7th inning stretch. He's also looking for those comments of the show. He'll feature them on the screen. We also got Noise by Noel, Young Lotto, always representing, looking for your comments as well. We'll check in with them in a little bit. But first, of course, we got to start with the leadoff.
Leading off, the hottest story in Dodger baseball.
Now, the hottest story in Dodger baseball is that it was reported yesterday that the Dodgers will be meeting with Juan Soto. By the time you've watched this, maybe they've already met. And right now, John Heyman is reporting that an offer has not been made by any team to Juan Soto. There was a rumor out there that the New York Mets had offered him $660 million, that Stephen Cohen is willing to go $50 million more than any team out there. And while the Mets certainly are going to be major players in the Juan Soto sweepstakes, it clearly isn't over yet. The Yankees and the Mets are still widely considered to be the favorites for Juan Soto. But the question is, are the Dodgers going to get heavily involved? Well, let's get you caught up. So right now, there's a lot of rumors swirling about Juan Soto. And the question is, when will he sign? Is it going to drag into 2025? Is it going to go late into the season like a Bryce Harper? Is it going to go into like a Manny Machado, late into spring training? Are we going to see something like that? Or will we see what we saw a couple years ago with Garrett Cole and Anthony Rendon, where they signed during the winter meetings? Well, right now, the word around the baseball industry is that we could see Juan Soto sign before the winter meetings that begin on December 9th in Dallas. So it feels like right now the Juan Soto sweepstakes aren't going to last long. And I think the reason for that is because there's teams willing to pay big bucks to get him. His market is robust at the top with the Yankees and the Mets. And then when you look at the dark horses, who are those dark horses? The Dodgers, the Phillies are going to meet with him as well. And an NL executive said, we all know that Scott Boras has a reputation for dragging free agency along at a snail's pace, but when he has someone like Soto, that doesn't usually happen. I'd be surprised if he hasn't signed by the time we leave Dallas when the meetings conclude on December 12th. That was from Mark Feinsand of MLB.com and a piece that he wrote where he revealed that the Dodgers are going to be meeting with them. Now, the Dodgers are on a long list of teams that are trying to woo him at the moment. Newport Beach yesterday at Scott Boris's agency, the New York Yankees with Brian Cashman, their general manager, Hal Steinbrenner, their owner, Aaron Boone. They have already met with Juan Soto. There's already a lot of familiarity there considering that he played an entire season with the New York Yankees. You had Scott Boris already say that he enjoyed the Yankee experience. And look, make no mistake about it, the Yankees are big. The pinstripes are iconic. That's a win-now team where you're playing with Aaron Judge. And Juan Soto certainly makes a lot of sense for them because the last thing that the Yankees want to do is lose Juan Soto to the two worst teams. You could have it be the Mets, who are the team in your own city, and it would almost feel like, oh, the Mets are bigger spenders than the Yankees. The Mets are now becoming what the Yankees used to be, where it wasn't about the money. It was, hey, here's a blank check. We want to win in George Steinbrenner's era. And you don't want to lose him to the Dodgers. You don't want to lose him to the Red Sox either. So that's where the Yankees stand in all of this. And I think what it comes down to is who's going to give the most money, who's going to give him a chance to win. Because the truth of the matter is he is going to have opt-outs in that contract most likely. And whether that's after 4 years or 5 years, he turned 26 last month. So because of that, you look at a stretch of maybe 4 years, and then he could re-enter the market at age 30 and continue to maximize his earning potential. That's certainly a possibility, but he's going to get paid wherever he lands. Wherever he goes, you're looking at $45 to $50 million per season and a deal worth north of $500 million. Now, Mark Feinsand also pointed out that in his meeting with the Boston Red Sox, that according to Sean McAdam of Mass Live, Soto asked the Red Sox about the club's commitment to winning, its ballpark and facilities, and its process of evaluating players. So the sense that I'm getting with Juan Soto is winning is important. He wants to be in a good situation where he can win multiple World Series titles. He won one with the Nationals in 2019. He was massive against the Dodgers. He was big time in the World Series against the Astros. He's a postseason certified player, someone that you can count on in big spots when it matters most. And he wants to pad that legacy in play in October. I mean, you saw a different version of Juan Soto under the bright lights throughout his entire career. And there's other teams involved too. You can see the Giants, the Phillies, but this one kind of makes me laugh. The Rays. I mean, come on now. I mean, were they give him $10 million a year for 75 years? I mean, I just don't see how the Rays, the Rays signing Juan Soto, yeah, I'm going to go to prom with Sidney Sweeney, right? I mean, I don't anticipate the Rays signing Juan Soto, okay? I can just imagine that. The Rays people calling Soto, all right, Soto, we're going to give you $620. They're like, oh, $620 million? No, $6.20. All right, hang up, okay? They don't even have a stadium right now. Are you going to put their roof money towards Juan Soto? I don't think that's going to happen. I mean, he's not going to the Rays, okay? That's not going to happen. But the Dodgers, I do think, are a dark horse. And the reason why I say that is because people need to remember that signing Shohei Ohtani, it's not like they're giving up $700 million. No, he deferred $68 million per year. $68 million per year, 97% of that contract until 2034. In present day value, that's a contract worth under $500 million. And they are making money off of Shohei Ohtani. There's some rumors out there that the Dodgers have already made in one season over $120 million from Shohei Ohtani. So he is the rare mega contract that's not only paying for itself, but they're profiting off of that. So signing Shohei shouldn't preclude them from signing other big stars. It should actually help them because not only is he deferring that money, so they have more cash in the present, but also they're making money. Not only is the sponsorships up, the jersey sales, all the gate revenue, all the merchandise, but you're going deep into the postseason. You just went through all the rounds and you won in 5 games in the World Series. So Shohei equals deeper postseason runs. Deferred money equals more money in the present. So that's why they should be a dark horse contender for Juan Soto. And you also look at Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman. Both guys have deferred money. That is the big hack. That is the big hack in all this, is the deferred money. And maybe that's a loophole that Major League Baseball and the Players Association address at some point. But the Dodgers are playing within the rules, and they're using it to maximize their chances of putting together the best roster. And you look at where the Dodgers are. Look, it's pretty simple at this point. You need an outfielder. Mookie Betts is going to be in the infield. Juan Soto is the best outfielder available. You owe it to yourself to have conversations with the best players available if you're the Los Angeles Dodgers, just to gauge the temperature, just to see where he's at. Because if Juan Soto believes in himself, which we know he does, and his talent, yeah, you could see an extremely high AAV front-loaded contract, $240 million, something in that range, or something 13 years that is above 550, right? But the truth of the matter is can the Dodgers afford Juan Soto? The answer is yes. Does it make sense for them to throw a high offer at Soto so the Mets and the Yankees will ultimately have to pay him more money? The answer is yes. You want to either sign him at your price, or 2, inflate whatever contract he's ultimately going to sign in the hopes that at some point that contract, whether it be the Yankees or the Mets in year 6, 7, whatever it is, hurts them to any degree, because that's your competition. But look, I mean, it's the Dodgers. You can never count out this organization. And look, there's been a lot of talk about Japanese players not wanting to play with other Japanese superstars. That myth was debunked last season when Juan Soto was still in the league, and Yamamoto ends up signing with the Dodgers, and you've seen Japanese players team up with other Japanese players. Well, does Juan Soto want to play with the biggest star in the game in Shohei Ohtani? Well, during the All-Star break, Juan Soto was asked which player in Major League Baseball he would most want to play with, and here's what he said.
Steph and LeBron finally get to play together. Who is one MLB player you'd love to play with that you haven't had the chance to on the same team?
I mean, Ohtani wouldn't be one of the best. Now he went to the NL, I went to the AL, so it's been a little tricky, but definitely Ohtani will be one of them.
Okay, congrats.
Thank you.
There you go. Ohtani will be one of them, okay? I mean, there's no doubt about it that he'd be willing to share that spotlight. He already played with Aaron Judge, who's a big star in the game. Now, Soto is expected to sign for big money. I think ultimately he signs for 13 years, $585 million, $45 million a year. Do they get to 600? Possibly. You look at the Yankees, where their payroll's at. You don't have $31 million that you paid Soto. That's off the books, of course, because now he's a free agent. But you also have $80 million coming off the payroll as well. The Mets, you have a lot of money coming off the books too. All that money that they had in contracts tied into Justin Verlander and Max Scherzer, those are gone. That was around $180 million. So the Mets are in a good position to give him a big contract as well. And I still think ultimately he ends up with one of the 2 Yankee clubs. I mean, one of the 2 New York clubs, whether it be the Yankees or the Mets. But the Dodgers are scary. Now, how good is Juan Soto? Is he worth kind of changing the calculus of this offseason? Is he worth $500+ million? Is he worth saying, you know what? We've got stars. We can get more stars. Is he worth that? He's a special player. He's a once in a sport level talent. He's not just this guy's pretty good. No. This is Juan Soto's on a whole nother level than most players out there. And just look at how he started his career. When he was 19, I'll never forget, watch that highlight. When he was 19, he comes up, let's talk about Juan Soto. Second at bat, he hits an Oppo Taco bomb off Chad Green. That rookie season, before 20, as a teenager, hit 292, had a 406 on base. .517 slug, hit 22 bombs as a teenager. He had a 142 OPS plus as a rookie. That's the best in baseball history. The truth is, he's the best pure hitter in baseball that's hitting the free agency market at 26. This is unprecedented. Last year it was unprecedented with Shohei Ohtani to have a slugger that can pitch at an ace level hit the market. It's unprecedented this year to have a hitter of this caliber that started his clock so early in his teenage years that is hitting the market at age 26. So we know that that's what teams love. They love super duper stars, mammoth figures in the game, and players that are in their primes, youth. That's what Juan Soto has. And you look at just the consistency throughout his career. He has 4 5+ WAR seasons, would have had 6 if it weren't for COVID. He was on pace for another one that year. Outside of Aaron Judge and possibly Shohei Ohtani, I mean, he's the best hitter in the game. And I still think best pure hitter, he takes that title by a landslide. He's never had a weighted runs created plus under 140. He's never had an on-base percentage less than 400. This guy is as consistent of a hitter in Major League Baseball. Death taxes and Juan Soto having a 400+ on-base percentage and a 140 weighted runs created plus or more. And also, I don't think he's peaked yet. In 2024, he had a career-high 41 home runs, had a career-high 8.1 WAR. And we have to process the fact that this is someone that last 5 seasons, he has a walk rate of 19.8% and a strikeout rate of 15.8%. And he's also hit 145 home runs. So the combination of play discipline and power, it's so unique. It does not exist. I mean, this is a guy that walks more than he strikes out. He's the best free agent hitter since Aaron Judge. He's the best young superstar that's hit the market since Bryce Harper. And if he was interested in signing with the Dodgers, they have the financial means to do it. What would prevent you from doing this? I see some people out there say it ain't Soto. Why? Because last time I checked, when he was on the trade block a couple years ago, this was you guys in the pavilion. Where all those future Dodger. Where's all those fans? You guys all wanted him on this team. I mean, I just don't get it. I mean, I think that I'm not saying they're going to sign him, but the idea that he's a bad fit for this team because of anything that's been reported about him being a bad teammate, where? I must have missed that. I haven't seen that. In the box, he does the Soto shuffle. I think that gives him a competitive advantage. I think he's playing mind games out there with the pitcher. Just look at his home run against the Guardians in the ALCS. He was looking for a fastball, and he willed himself to get a fastball, and he hit it out. It's a strategy. The idea that you don't like Juan Soto because he played for the Padres, because he played for the Yankees, because he was on that Nationals team that beat the Dodgers, it doesn't make sense. You know why? Because we've seen throughout Dodgers history that your villains become your favorite players. Who was like the biggest villain that we've had? Joe Kelly. Joe Kelly hits Hanley Ramirez in the ribs, basically cost the Dodgers a chance to win the World Series that year. Joe Kelly dominates the Dodgers in the 2018 World Series. It was great during that postseason. And then what happens? The Dodgers sign him, $25 million. 2019, Dodgers fans hated Joe Kelly. 2019, the regular season, Joe Kelly was bad. He had his bobblehead night giveaway. You guys want to give away Joe Kelly. And then what happens? He throws at the Astros, and then he does the pouty face, and there's murals all around the town for Joe Kelly. So we've seen this happen where it's a villain, and then the minute he signs with your team, you change everything you think about the guy, and ultimately you want him on your squad. So I just don't understand. It doesn't make a ton of sense to me why you would be against it. But let's read some comments here. We've got a super chat. Some kind of wonderful $4.99. It's not that we don't want Soto. We just want Teoscar back. And if signing Soto means Teo isn't coming back, then we'd rather not. It's $4.99 from Some Kind of Wonderful. So let's talk about that, because that was where I was going with this. And I like that take right there, because it's valid in that a lot of shout out to Noah Cameras, Dodgers Nation lead editor, walking through here. Shout out to Noah Cameras. But yeah, with Teoscar Hernandez, it doesn't necessarily preclude them from signing Teoscar Hernandez. I don't think this is an either or situation. I mean, personally, is it realistic that they're going to sign Juan Soto and Teoscar Hernandez? No, but the truth is Teoscar Hernandez is not a great defender in left, and he's a better defender in right. And if you were to sign Juan Soto, you could throw him in left and put Teoscar in right and put Tommy Edman in center field. So there's a world where you could have both. I'm here to tell you that once you get past that final threshold of the Cohen tax, you're paying the same amount for whoever you add. And I mean, if you were able to sign Teoscar Hernandez for 70, 80 million, and then Juan Soto for an insane contract, it's not impossible. Is it likely? No. But I don't think the Dodgers would be in a spot where it's either or. I mean, I think personally it's if Teo wants to be a Dodger, their price is going to be their price. I don't think it's, we're getting Soto, now let's offer Teo more, right? They're not looking at it like that. They're looking at Teo's going to come to the Dodgers on our price, whether we sign Soto or not. They're not going to go way up. The Dodgers don't get into bidding wars. Outside of Yoshinobu Yamamoto, and they were right in the ballpark. It wasn't a massive difference maker there. They're not going to get into this huge contract adjustment. If they can get Soto, it's because Soto, one, wants to be a Dodger. There's an opportunity to add him, and they're taking full advantage of that. It's not like, hey, Teo, they're texting Teo, yeah, we want you back. Here's our contract offer. Oh, wait a minute. Juan Soto wants to sign with us. We're going to leave Teo on red, and the text is going to turn green. No, it's not how it's going to work. There's a world that can have. Get that out of your mind where you can only have one or the other. It's just, I still think, like I said, my prediction is that Soto still signs with the Mets or the Yankees at the end of the day. I think Phillies are a sneaky dark horse from what I've heard, but I just don't think that that's the way to look at it. Is this the either or situation? Remember, Teoscar Hernandez, he's put himself in a good position too, where if the Yankees don't end up with Juan Soto, he could be an option for them as well. Mr. John Rod 77, $4.99, sign Soto and then have him ride on the Macy's Parade Dodgers float next week. That would be the real cherry on top. Yeah, give you a let's go Dodgers for that. A little comment of the show action from our friends down below. Let's read some more comments because, look, at the end of the day, like I said, it's a win-win. This is a win-win for the Dodgers. You either get Soto at your price or you force another team to have to pay more for him because other teams have to respect the Dodgers' financial muscle. Okay? But you can always get better. You can always improve your roster. Warriors added KD. Fast and Furious franchise added The Rock. Like, you can always get better. You can always, there's never enough stars. I mean, it wouldn't be if the Dodgers added Juan Soto, it wouldn't be an all-star team. It would be an all-time team. Their 1 through 4 potentially would be Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, Juan Soto, and Freddie Freeman. That would be your 1 through 4. That would be the most devastating, explosive 1 through 4 in the history of Major League Baseball. They would be the Beatles of baseball. Juan Soto would be an infinity stone that you add that would send a message to the game that we're going for this dynasty, that we see this championship window and we don't want just one. Like Mookie Betts said, he wants to fill up his hand. Like Mookie Betts said at the award show the other day, the warning out there is, hey, next 7 years, you're not going to be winning. All the winning's going to be done in Los Angeles. And the Dodgers truly have a chance to do that. Some teams, like the Braves, the Yankees, back in the day, late 90s, early 2000s, that Yankees team, they won championships. That Braves team, they won one. But the way this is positioned, I think one thing that's interesting to me is, look, it is a have and have-nots league right now. And with the regional sports networks falling through and teams not having as much of a financial windfall as other teams like the Dodgers, they have an $8 billion plus TV deal that are making money hand over fist, absolutely printing money right now. You owe it to yourself to see how far can we take this thing. So dream big, spend big. It ain't my money. It ain't your money. And they're making money. So you got to consider it, man. They're smart. They wouldn't have this meeting. The Dodgers would not be having this meeting if they didn't want Juan Soto. So you're saying you don't want Juan Soto, but the Dodgers, the team that just built this World Series team that's put together 13 straight postseason runs, they're saying they want Juan Soto, but you're saying you don't want Juan Soto. The Dodgers, who tried to trade for Juan Soto a couple years ago, have said they want Juan Soto, but you're saying you don't want Juan Soto. I mean, I think that this Dodgers organization deserves the respect and the trust. What happened to In Friedman? We trust, right? But coming up next, we're going to switch gears, talk some Rookie of the Year, Paul Skenes, Livy Dunn, talk some Yamamoto, because I'm going to talk about my favorite rookie. That's coming up next for Dodgers Dugout Live. What up, Dodgers Nation? D-Mac here to remind you that if you have not yet, be sure to subscribe to the Dodgers Dugout Live podcast. You can find it wherever you get your podcast. So if you want to listen to the show in audio form, when you're driving to Dodger Stadium, when you're driving from Dodger Stadium, when you're commuting to work, wherever it is, you definitely want to lock into the podcast. We're going to start featuring some podcast exclusives, interviews. So definitely, even if you do watch the show daily on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to the Dodgers Dugout Live podcast, wherever your podcast. So be sure to do that. It really supports the channel. And as always, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out. And welcome back to Dodgers Dugout Live, the #1 Dodgers podcast and show on YouTube. By the way, I don't know about you guys, but I'm getting merched up for the World Series. And if you haven't yet, go to gearup.la for the best Dodgers merch in the game. I saw on Reddit this morning, someone posted a picture of the Freddie McGibby shirt. Them wearing it. Yep.
Nice.
Yep. And we had the guy in the Disney World rocking the WDJF shirt. I mean, people are loving it, but let's read this. But first, just a reminder that, this show is brought to you by GearUp.la, the official merchandise store of Dodgers Nation. And we have some new T-shirts and posters that you don't want to miss out on. The first is the WDGAF Are We Live, inspired by Teoscar Hernández's iconic post-game interview, where he revealed exactly what made this Dodgers team so different. You have the special glasses that helped him turn his season around, the hilarious belt bump celebration as the silhouette, and this shirt is just fire. Also, the Freddie McGibby shirt, the Freddie Freeman Grand Slam, the walk-off, the first time in World Series history we've seen that, so go celebrate that with that shirt. And, yeah, definitely that's a fire shirt. Also, go get the What Are They Gonna Say Now, the Walker Buehler Are You Not Entertained post. So lots of great stuff over at gearup.la. And also, speaking of great stuff, me and Noel and I, Young Lotto, we were at Universal City last week to pick up some World Series merch, and I went on a little shopping spree. So let's run that. You got to get this World Series merch. World Series champs fitted with the patch, 5950, new era. Got the one they wore in the series. You know how to double up. You got to double up. One to rock, one to stock. Got the parade cap, the snapback. This is fire. R.I.P. Fernando Valenzuela. Fernando Mania Forever. Got the Road Gray Mitchell and Ness 1981 authentic with the patch. I get a little World Series championship shirt right here. Got a couple pins. Got a little pin right there. How to get the patch? Got to get the patch. All right, man, what's the damage? Hook it up. Give me a hometown discount like Teo's gonna take from the Dodgers.
I can take away like $5.
$5? Okay, what's the total?
The total's gonna be $227 and then $277.
That's it? Oh man. Can I defer most of it like Ohtani's contract? Or? No? Hey man, compare these World Series tickets. This is nothing, man. Here we go.
Deal.
All right. Credit card decline. I'll do it again? All right, let's see. All right, man.
Trying to steal that like the Astros stole the 2017 World Series, am I right? No, but all right, man. Thanks a lot, man. Hey, go Dodgers.
Go Dodgers.
World Series champs. Here, you got the L, do the A. You do the L.
And yeah, those guys are awesome. Our friends over at Dodgers Clubhouse. If you want to get the best Dodgers gear in the game, go to Dodgers Clubhouse. See some comments right here. We got Beer Sama saying that I'm spending all my super chat money on Teoscar. No, I want Teo back. Bring the Teo Star back to LA. I just think that the Dodgers have their price for a lot of different players, and I think they want Teoscar back. And I just think that you can never rule out this organization when it comes to the fact that if they have interest, mutual interest, they can find a way to sign guys. Nando390 says D-Mac got the Dodgers locker room Mike Tyson shorts. Bruh. Got me with that one. But yeah, definitely head over there. We got some more comments on Soto. That Fernando jersey is fuego. Yeah, I mean, that love that. I think they should bring that back for sure. Nando390, $5. Fire that guy. He gave us a $5 discount. That was cool. We got Dan C in the house. Don't remind me of 2017. That feels like a long time ago for sure. We got Ray Barrios, Snell and Crochet, great and signed Freed. So yeah, let's dive back into it because the Rookie of the Year was announced yesterday, and Paul Skenes wins the Rookie of the Year, and his reaction was interesting, man. He had that vibe like when you're at a birthday party and everyone's saying happy birthday to you, and it's that awkward time. I always hated that. You know what I'm talking about? When people are saying happy birthday to you, you got to like wait and be like, yeah. You know, that's what Paul Skenes was doing. You know what I mean? But in Livy Dunn, she like claps like this. Livy Dunn. Yeah. What did you guys think about Paul Skenes there?
I don't know. I think his reaction was, I think his girlfriend was more excited than Paul Skenes for sure. But I don't know. We were talking earlier. I was like, kind of Paul Skenes kind of looked like he's like, dude, I didn't deserve this. I should have went to Jackson Merrill. But what do you think, Doug?
I mean, look, the truth of the matter is, I know Jackson Merrill certainly was deserving of Rookie of the Year. I mean, I don't think he was robbed, though. I think that the truth is with Paul Skenes, had he pitched the entire season, he'd be right up there with Chris Sale for the NL Cy Young. He's going to finish third in the NL Cy Young. So a guy that's finishing third certainly deserves Rookie of the Year. And you look at the WAR, 5.9, had a better WAR season. So I like cry more, Padres fans. I mean, I like Jackson Merrill. Trust me, I think that he's a fantastic player with a bright future. But Paul Skenes is a better player now. He's arguably the most top level pitcher in the game as a rookie. So I mean, you can't say that Jackson Merrill is at the table with Aaron Judge and Juan Soto and Shohei Ohtani as a hitter, right? But Paul Skenes, if any team could have any pitcher in baseball right now, it'd be Paul Skenes. I mean, as far as his future, that's why we say, I mean, Roki Sasaki, it could be the Dodgers, Paul Skenes. But let me know down below in the comment section. I'm interested to hear what you guys have to say because, yeah, he didn't look very happy there. I mean, well, I don't think he's mastered the
nonchalant.
Yeah.
Nonchalant look.
Yeah, he was looking a little kind of had post argument vibes. You know? Have you ever had those?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
What do you think about Paul Skenes though, Noel?
He's a superstar, man.
You're tapped in to Padres fans because what do you think? Padres fans are not happy about this.
Oh, they're not happy at all. But I mean, Paul Skenes, bro, you can't be mad about that. Like you said, if he had pitched the whole season, he would have. I mean, been up there. He would have broken some more records. He would have been right up there for Cy Young. But I mean, I kind of like his reaction there, just because I think the Rookie of the Year isn't what he plays for. You know, he has a lot of goals in his career. He wants to win so many other awards, potentially lead the Pirates to become contenders. So I just think it's like Rookie of the Year is cool, but I'm not sure that that's really what he wants. You know, so it's like we'll take it, but we'll keep it rolling. We got bigger goals in mind.
I didn't think about it that way. Yeah, he's just like, yeah, it's just added the trophy. I'm thinking about Cy Youngs and World Series titles. I have bigger goals for myself. Now, as far as the Dodgers rookie pitcher, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, we're going to look at his year that he had this season because Yoshinobu Yamamoto had so much hype surrounding him because the Dodgers gave him the most lucrative contract that a team had ever given to a starting pitcher, $325 million. It's $1 million more than the Yankees gave Garrett Cole when he signed back in 2018 after 2019 season. And I think you look at the production in year one, there were the injuries and you can't discount that. He goes 90 innings in the regular season but also threw 18 2/3 in the postseason. And if you look at the numbers overall, he did have that rough start against the Padres in his debut in Seoul, South Korea, where he threw 43 pitches, gave up 5 runs, was chased early in that one. And I hate to be that guy who's the, outside of that start guy, but I'm going to be that outside of that one bad start guy and tell you that outside of that one bad start, he had 17 starts this season, and he put together a really nice year, a 2.53 ERA. A 2.53 ERA, a 2.58 FIP, a 2.82 expected FIP, and kept the ball in the yard, had a strikeouts per 9 at 10.42, a walk rate of 2.12, walk per 9, and he showed the dominance in the postseason. He had a bad start against the Padres where he gave 5 runs. Outside of that, his 2024 postseason ERA was at 1.72 compared to 3.86. So as a whole, in year one, he accomplished his goal. I think he did what the Dodgers had hoped he would do, and that is help them win a World Series. He helped them win a World Series, and that's the most important thing. So that's what you wanted from Yamamoto in year one, and he did just that. So, I mean, I give him for his first year, his rookie grade, I give it I'm going to give it a B+. A B+ for his rookie season. Yes, he did miss almost 3 months with that shoulder injury, but still, I mean, he came back and he put together a really nice season overall. Even if you include the one bad start, he was a 3 ERA guy, a 2.61 FIP guy, and had 105 strikeouts, a 22 walks, a 2.8 F-WAR, and a 1.7 R-WAR. So it's not like he had a bad season as a whole, right? It's not like he had a bad season as a whole. I mean, he was good. I think what you want to look for him moving forward with Yamamoto is you want to see more innings out of him. He averaged 4 2/3 innings in the postseason and 5 innings in the regular season. So 4 2/3 innings per start. You want to see him go a little deeper into games as he continues to adjust to pitching in the show. But they are going to go to that 6-man rotation. So I think that you're going to see him go deeper into games. He's going to get more comfortable at this level. And when it comes to pure stuff, he's just nasty. When it comes to the yo-yo curveball, the splitter, the location on the fastball, he's a very talented pitcher. I mean, opponents slash 229, 275, 365 off him. That's really good. And in his career, he has been durable. With the Oryx Buffaloes in the NPB, in the 3 years that he won the Triple Crown, he averaged 160 innings per season. So it's not like he's had durability issues throughout his whole career. I still think that Yamamania is going to come next season, and he's still one of the most fun pitchers to watch. I would say he's one of the most fun pitchers that we've ever seen go attack guys with the pitch mix, with the way that he can balance out nasty secondary stuff with fastball location. So I give him a B+. I really do. I give him a B+ because my question I have is, would the Dodgers have won the postseason? Would they have won the World Series? Would they have got those 11 wins in October when it mattered most without Yamamoto? The answer is no. And I think that for better or worse, him missing that large chunk of time probably ended up helping him in the long run. You got to sit there and learn. You didn't bury him and burn him into the ground in the regular season. And he gave you 18 2/3 innings. And you look at his start against the Yankees in game 2, he was electric. And he'd always had that reputation of being a big game pitcher. I asked him about being a big game pitcher in Korea, and he said that that's basically what he does and that he enjoys pitching in those situations. And in game 2 of the World Series, Yamamoto, 6 2/3 innings, gave up just 1 run. It was that Juan Soto home run. He just missed with fastball location. That wasn't even a bad sequence, just missed with that pitch against one of the best hitters that we've ever seen. Had 4 strikeouts. He gave the Dodgers what they needed. 6 1/3 from Yamamoto. If I told you that before the postseason, you would have been jumping for joy, doing cartwheels down 1000 Vince Scully Avenue. In his start against the Padres 2, in game 5, in the clincher, when a lot of people want to see a bullpen game. They wanted to not have Yamamoto go in that one. The Dodgers said, no, that's why we signed Yamamoto, to be that guy in those situations, to be a big game pitcher when we need him to step up. And he handled it. He went 5 innings, gave up no runs, just 2 hits. He totally shut down that Padres offense. So look at the games that he pitched in where they needed it the most. Of course, he had the blowout start where the Dodgers beat the Mets 10-2 in the NLCS in Game 4. He was big in that one. That took him over the top on the road in New York. But look at that. All of his starts in the postseason, the Dodgers went 4-0 in Yamamoto starts. So B+ for Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Just want to see him stay healthy. Want to see him pitch more innings. He's got the style down too, man. He's got the 3-piece suits going on. He's got the bags. He's got the watches, the Richard Milles. I mean, the guy's, he looks cool, man. I mean, his Nike glove is probably the best glove in the game right now. Yamamoto's got the aura, right? Right, Noel?
He does indeed. Also, D-Mac, a little bit of breaking news. We knew this was going to happen, but still got to tell you, Teoscar Hernández declined his qualifying offer, $21.05 million, officially entering free agency now.
So there you go. And thank you for the update. Give you Let's Go Dodgers for that one. Teoscar Hernández, he does reject that qualifying offer. Like you point out, it was a foregone conclusion that was going to be the case. And the Dodgers are now in a position where if another team signs Teoscar, they get a draft pick. So that's the price of doing business. And the good thing is that we're further along in the process of getting to a decision with Teoscar Hernández, one way or the other. But yeah, thankfully for him, he was not going to sign that qualifying offer. $20+ million is not the 70, 80, 90, 100 million that he's looking for. And he doesn't need to sign a 1-year prove-it deal anymore. He's already proven himself with the Dodgers. But thanks for that update. Now, let's get into, though, the 7th inning stretch. I want to hear all of your takes, all things Dodger baseball, little 7th inning stretch here on Dodgers Dugout Live.
The 7th inning stretch.
So we got OC Dar 37, no bull. I took out a loan from the bank to go see game 1. Okay, that's a comment of the show. That's a comment of the show. I respect that. Who cares what it means financially, the interest rates, No, you saw a piece of history, and it's worth every penny now because you saw one of the greatest moments in baseball history, possibly the greatest moment in Dodgers history. So unbelievable. So got to give you a lot of credit for that. We got Freedom, $4.99. Yasiel Puig was 10 times better hitter than Soto. Come on, Doug. And hell of a throwing arm. We don't need Soto. Look, okay, the defense isn't great for Juan Soto. He did get some top 3 finish for his outfield play, but we know that he's not a great defender, but he more than makes up for it with what he can do at the plate. I mean, come on now. There's a lot of players that have great defense, but they have no offense. His offense is literally objectively transcendent, and he's the best pure hitter in baseball. Also, I'll add to that if Juan Soto were to play for the Dodgers, well, the Dodgers are one of the best teams in all of Major League Baseball when it comes to defensive positioning. And they would put him in a spot where he could have more success because of that positioning. You mentioned Yasiel Puig. Why did the Dodgers lose to the Astros in the World Series? I think if you point to a couple plays, Yasiel Puig having an absolute defiant brain fart of all brain farts. Yasiel Puig was one of the reasons why they lost that series because he ignored his defensive positioning on the Bregman double late in the game. I mean, come on now. When Yasiel Puig slammed his glove in foul territory, he was frustrated because he was shading towards center field and he should have been closer to right field. So, I mean, look, I love me some Yasiel Puig, man. Major Puig. I love the wild horse, but man, a lot of drama with Yasiel Puig. Mike Lopez, $2 super chat. If Soto signs, can we see So Tortas? Okay. Yeah. Maybe they can start selling those. Some So Tortas. I'll give you a little bread for that one. I like that. I appreciate that, Mike Lopez. We got Cole says Yoshinobu Yamamoto is worth every penny. Jeff Cortez, are the Dodgers willing to spend $1 billion again this offseason? I mean, did they spend $1 billion offseason or did they invest it? Because they're making money off Shohei Ohtani. They made money because they went deep into the postseason. They're profiting in a big way. Look, let's not worry about the Dodgers' finances. Their owner is a billionaire worth over $12 billion, Mark Walter, and Dodger Stadium leads the league in attendance, 53,000 during the World Series. I mean, they were absolutely making as much money as any team has ever made from a World Series team as far as merchandise sales. This Dodgers team is a machine financially. So you can look at it as more money, more business. But Alan K, is Dodger Stadium the only place that plays the song "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" twice in the 7th inning? That's a good question, Alan K. I'll have to ask Dieter Roll for you because they do run it back. I don't think so. I don't know. What do you think of Antonio? I feel like other teams do that.
I've been to a couple stadiums in Milwaukee, Chicago, Washington, D.C. They played it twice, so.
Yeah, I think it's pretty standard. I think it's pretty standard. Exodus, if Yoshi pitches a whole season, he wins Rookie of the Year. I like that take. It's a fire take. It's a fire take. I love that take right there because you're going up against Paul Skenes. You're going up against Jackson Merrill. If that would be the case, well, the Dodgers would be happy about that. But I think they'll take them going 4-0 with him on the mound in October. Dan C, Yoshi was pretty awesome in the postseason World Series, in my opinion. Randy Davis, Yoshi grade A. He was great in 24 when healthy and invaluable in the World Series. I give him a B+ just because I know that he has another gear that he can get to, and with more experience and being healthy, he's going to be one of the top 10 to 15 pitchers in baseball for the next couple of seasons. That's truly his ceiling. Randy Davis, appreciate that. Tayo, Yoshi B during the season, A in the playoffs. Yeah, you could do both. I think that an A- in the playoffs, you want to see a little more length. But considering where they were at, dire straits, that's definitely what they needed from him. You needed more innings. Pika P, Yamamoto, best starting pitcher contract in Dodgers franchise history. It's too early to tell that. I mean, it's tough to, it's too early to declare victory on that one, especially, look, Clayton Kershaw, he's provided value with his contract. There's no doubt about that. D-Mac, what number would Soto wear? Yeah, he can't wear 17, can't wear 22. Maybe he wears 23. Who knows? Well, that's a champagne problem if you get to that point. I'd say that much. Anthony Cortez, never been a huge fan of Soto, but man, this gives me chills thinking about him on the Dodgers. It feels like early 2000s Lakers with Shaq and Kobe. They already got Shaq and Kobe for sure with Ohtani and Mookie Betts, and you also have Freddie Freeman, who's the best. This is unprecedented, would be unprecedented, that level of talent that's still in their prime or in the late years of their prime on the same team at the same time. You look at the Mariners kind of with Edgar Martinez and Ken Griffey Jr. and Alex Rodriguez. You look at the Reds from the 70s. You look at the Yankees from the 20s. You're talking about the greatest teams ever. But some more here. We got the Flaco. Dodgers will get Soto only, and only if Soto agrees to Dodgers terms and conditions like they offered Harper, for example. If not, then yeah, Dodgers will pass big time. Yeah, could not agree with you more. They're not going to say, oh, hey, what is Stephen Cohen giving you? We'll match that. No, the Dodgers will not be doing that. I don't like to say fully guarantees when I don't know 100%, but can almost guarantee that. Doug Slayton, we are the evil blue empire. Embrace it, people. Let the haters hate. Let's go. Give you a nice little let's go Dodgers for that one. Bruce Lean, I agree. Teo over Soto. Chris Dudley, show Mookie, Soto, Freddie, Teo, hell of a top of the order. Can you imagine that? Just imagine that. That's like playing in a fantasy baseball league where you're the only player in the league. Or there's two players in the league. I am putting together a roster. You're a big fantasy guy. Who would you draft first in that group? Tony Taters.
Between those guys, I'd pick Mookie Betts.
Mookie Betts, really?
Yeah.
I like that. Why not?
That's why I picked this year, not the second pick.
Yeah, Mookie, I'm always worried about like a little 2-month injury for Mookie. He had the hip thing a couple years ago, had the hand thing. But yeah, I can't go wrong with Mookie Betts. I think I'm taking Shohei though.
I guess for next year, Shohei would be the clear choice, huh?
I think I'm taking Shohei. But no, hey, you made your pick. So you had the number 1 pick. I had the number 2 pick. I'm taking Shohei.
Let's go Mookie.
Yeah, taking Mookie. How about you, Noel?
From just Dodgers?
Yeah, that top 4.
That's all. Wait, so it'd be Soto, Mookie, Freddie, Ohtani?
Yes.
You guys took Mookie and Ohtani already, but I'll probably Give me Juan Soto.
Yeah,
Give me Juan Soto.
I mean, it's still in his prime too, so I think you have to look at that one.
I love me some Freddie Freeman, but Juan Soto, what is he, like 6-7 years younger than Freddie?
Yeah,
around there.
Yeah,
allegedly.
Oh, okay. We got a Tony Tater's age conspiracy.
He always underplays people's ages. Like when we were talking near the World Series, he's like, I swear Soto's like 24, 25. And same thing with Tatis. He was like, Tatis is like 23, 24. I'm like, no, they're not.
You probably think he's older though, right? Soto?
No comment. Maybe a little bit, but you never know.
I mean, it's the Miguel Tejada in the Albert Pujols thing.
I am 12. So. I am 12.
You guys, I don't know. Those conspiracies are pretty crazy.
The bench warmers.
Yes,
yeah. But guys, keep going. Let's do a couple more. We got only Soto signed. Oh, this is funny from Rex. Says only signed Soto with a no shuffle clause in the contract. He stopped grabbing his. You know what? Still doing the Soto shuffle. I guarantee that Dodgers would flip on that quick though. It's a mind game. It kind of gives him a psychological advantage, but maybe they could work that in there. The real Jackson, Manny Ramirez, and Manny Machado weren't good fits for the Dodgers. Soto is a lot like those guys. Look, Manny Ramirez. I mean, Manny would, right? There's another great example of a Dodger villain that I wouldn't necessarily call him a villain, but someone that said might not fit with the Dodgers. That turned out to be great until, of course, you had the whole PED situation. Sean used Soto money for Max Fried, Adames, and Teo. I like that. Some Sean. SD Dodger. What up, SD Dodger? Tim Rogers. Blue Madness. What would it take for Freddie to get into the Hall of Fame as a Dodger? Another ring plus 3 years extension. So great question from SD Dodger. I think that another ring, 100%. If he is a big reason why they win another ring and he's, let's say, a World Series MVP and you have 2 World Series MVPs, or you're just a big time contributor and then maybe you add a third one, I think he almost has to at that point. He's just so respectable. I think he'll just go in with a blank hat. But I think individually, we've seen him have 2 of his best individual seasons, not in 2024, but 2022 and 2023 were really better than any season he had with the Atlanta Braves in a full 162 game season. I mean, he had 59 doubles and 29 home runs. If Freddie Freeman, who has 3 more years under contract, so they put him at 6 years with the Dodgers, they win. I think if they win 3 World Series titles, and he makes the All-Star team every single one of those years, and he's still a great player, maybe even gets down ballot MVP votes, I think you really have to start to have the conversation. Because one thing I said right after game 1 is no matter what, until the end of time, when I say the word Freddie Freeman to you, even if you're a Braves fan, when I say the word Freddie Freeman to you, your mind will immediately think of the walk-off shot in game 1 of the World Series. That is an indelible moment that will always be linked to Freddie Freeman. So yeah, I want to see him go into the Hall of Fame as a Dodger. Absolutely. Now we're getting out of here on a little Dodgers Did You Know?
It's time for Dodgers Did You Know? A mind-blowing fact about your boys in blue.
So, of course, we talked about the Rule 5 draft yesterday. Now, did you know that the Pittsburgh Pirates stole Roberto Clemente from the Brooklyn Dodgers? Now, the Dodgers' longtime scout and someone who would go on to run the Dodgers as their GM, Al Campanis, he was managing in Cuba for winter ball, and he saw Roberto Clemente at a tryout in Puerto Rico in 1952, and he was really impressed. And Clemente was 18 years old at the time. He was still in high school, and Campanis gave him an A grade for his throwing arm, an A grade for his power, and an A for everything else. I mean, this guy instantly knew that he was going to be something in the show potentially. And Al Campanis said that Roberto Clemente was the best free agent athlete I've ever seen. Now, at this time, Major League Baseball had the bonus rule. And without getting too deep into it, it was originally designed to stop teams that are at the top, the haves, the rich teams, the Yankees, the Dodgers, teams that had money, from signing all the best amateur prospects. And the draft didn't start until 1965. So from 1953 to 1957, players that got a bonus payment of at least $6,000 had to spend 2 years on the Major League roster from the date of that signing. Now, the Dodgers signed Roberto Clemente 15 months after Al Campanis first saw him and gave him that great scouting report. And the Braves actually offered him more money. The Braves are rumored to have offered him $25,000, but Clemente wanted to play in New York, so he could be around the Puerto Rican community there, his friends and family members. So he went to the Dodgers, and the Dodgers, the rumor is, signed him to keep him away from the Giants. And they also thought he was a great player. So the Dodgers end up signing Roberto Clemente for a $10,000 bonus, a first-year salary of $5,000, and they would ultimately assign him to AAA Montreal for the 1954 season. And the front office actually gave the manager of Montreal orders not to play him as a full-time player. And he ended up playing 87 games, had just 155 plate appearances, was mainly against lefties, hit .257, had 2 home runs, but he was the only bonus baby that year, the only bonus player to be sent to the minors. So he was unprotected. So what ends up happening is he was eligible for the major minor league Rule 5 draft, and the selection committee and the Pirates, they had the worst record in the National League, and they had the first pick, and they were ran by former Dodgers general manager Branch Rickey, and they ended up taking Roberto Clemente, and the rest is history. He ends up with the Pirates, ends up as one of the best players in the history of Major League Baseball, finished his career with exactly 3,000 hits. And he tragically died in a plane crash in Puerto Rico when he was delivering a lot of goods, and he was helping out during a tragedy there. So, yeah, Roberto Clemente could have been a Dodger legend. So, hey, I still claim it. I needed that Roberto Clemente Montreal Dodgers jersey, but that would have been pretty cool to see him have his career with the Dodgers, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You know, Roberto Clemente was such a great player, such a great humanitarian. You know, kind of like Clayton Kershaw, he does his thing with Kershaw's challenge and that devastating earthquake in Nicaragua for that Roberto Clemente was going to. It's just, I think he had like 317 home runs too, and just coming off a World Series against the Baltimore Orioles, just such a great player. And you know, MLB does a great job with. I think they do everyone wears 21 now a year, but you know, they should probably consider retiring it because he just did so much and just a great person overall. And I wish he was a Dodger, but his legend is, you know, just great for the lore of the sport, you know.
No doubt about it. And that Roberto Clemente award is held in high esteem. Of course, Clayton Kershaw famously has won that award. But, yeah, could have been a Dodger. But that's going to do it for this episode of Dodgers Dugout Live. My name is Doug McKain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMac_LA. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell. Hit that like button. We got Noel. We got Antonio. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Remember, nothing brings us together